Hi everybody, it's Holly and welcome back to Smile by Holly. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I have got a big 64-ounce Diet Coke and I'm ready to craft. So happy Halloween, we're almost at Halloween. Look at this fun envelope flip book that we're gonna make. Just so cute. It's just made up of a whole bunch of envelopes, well, 4 envelopes on a hinge system. And I've closed the envelopes with Velcro, so each of these open. And then look how cute. So not only is it a whole bunch of envelopes, but it makes just a darling little flip book. Isn't that just fun? And the trick to this is it's just sized down by, you know, an inch each time. So each page just gets a little bit bigger, and that's how you have that cute look of just a tiny bit bigger each time. And then each envelope holds just a little note. You know, you could put a photo in there. I think just a cute note would be great. And then the envelopes are closed up with just a little bit of Velcro. So fun, isn't that? When I saw this idea on Pinterest, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make that. And I just think this cute Halloween paper really took it to the next level. Okay, so before we get started, I am going to make a slight change with this album. Now, there's 2 ways to make it, and at the end, I will show you how I made this album with the little flaps. But for the album we're going to make today, I'm actually just going to make envelopes without the flaps. Okay, now I think the flaps add, I think that's like really cute. But I did run into that problem when I notched it. My Velcro on some of them, it should have been right where that notch was. So I was having to put my Velcro on the sides, which is totally fine. I was just being picky, but I do like to show you different ways that you can make this album. So at the very end, I will show you how to make the envelope with the flap. But for right now, I'm going to show you an album where we're just going to make it with just the envelopes and no flap. So you wouldn't need any Velcro. Couple different ways, and then at the end, you can choose to decide, you know, which album you want to make. It's just slightly different. All you will do is flip the envelope upside down. So you'll either have the flap on the bottom, which makes the envelope, or you'll have the flap on the top, which makes the flap to the envelope. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, as we get making it, you'll be able to see. So here we go. So the papers that you will need for our envelopes, this is what we're making. And once again, they just are slightly sized down. Now they're all going to be 10.5 inches long, okay? But the first one is 10.5 by 5, okay, by 5. The next one is 10.5 by 6. The next one is 10.5 by 7. And then the last envelope is 10.5 by 8. Okay, you can see right there, it just slowly gets bigger in size. For our hinge system, now this, you can just use a scrap for this because you really don't see it. So I'm just using a plain white, but this hinge is going to be 5 by 4. And then if you wanted to make cute little note cards for the inside, once again, these are just sized, you know, from small to big. So they're 4.5 across. And then the first one is 3.5. So 4.5 by 3.5, 4.5 by 4.5, 4.5 by 5.5, and 4.5 by 6.5. And let me just show you. So then this back one is just a little bit longer note card. Now that 4.5 by 6.5, wouldn't that be cute to have a photo in? That would fit a 4 by 6 photo. Just so cute. So anyway, there is our envelope flip book, and here we go. So get your papers cut, and we'll just go nice and slow and make this together. So how are you guys doing? Are you having a great day? It's been so fun to use up some of my Halloween paper. Now the paper I'm using today, no surprise, is Doodlebug. Now I don't only craft with Doodlebug, but I tend to use it quite a bit just because I love all the fun colors And I just think it's just a cute, whimsical paper. So anyway, that's what we're using today. Let's go ahead and make our score lines. So bring in your scoreboard, and let's start out with our small one first. Okay, so once again, this is 10.5 by 5. Okay, now on the 10.5-inch side, all of the scores on these are going to be the same, so it makes it super simple. So on the 10.5-inch side, you want to score it at 1/2 inch and at 5.5. Okay, and then flip your paper. Once again, this one is 5 inches. We want to score, and once again, it's all the same for all of them. Once you flip it, you want to score it at 1 inch. Okay, so let's do our next biggest. We've got it on the 10.5-inch side. We're going to go ahead and score it at 1/2 inch. This paper's kind of thick, so I'm going over it a little bit. And then at 5.5. Okay, flip our paper. This is the 6-inch paper, but we're just going to score it exactly the same at 1 inch. And these are just going to make the cutest, easy, can I say easy envelopes? Okay, here's our next one. Once again, it's 10.5. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch and at 5.5. Flip our paper. This is the 7-inch paper. We're going to score it at 1. And then for our last paper, once again, this is also 10.5. Let's score it at 1/2 inch and then at 5.5. And flip it. This is our 8-inch page. We're going to score it at 1. So it's so neat because yes, the papers are different sizes, but oh my gosh, they're scored at almost all the same. So it makes it super simple. While we have the scoreboard, let's bring in our hinge and get it all scored. Now this is the paper that is 5 by 4. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's on the 4-inch side when you're scoring this, and you want to score it at every 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch. So you want to score it at every 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5. Okay, let's move our scoreboard. While we've got our hinge right here, you're just going to accordion fold it. Now that's kind of hard to see, those score lines, but we're just going to go backwards and then forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, and backward. Okay, that makes our little fan. Okay, I'm going to get my bone folder and we'll score that really good when we get to the hinge part. But let's continue on making our envelopes. So let's start out with this big one. Wow. Now these score lines, that is a very busy paper. So I'm not sure you can see that, but let me just score this and maybe you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Use my bone folder, get some crisp lines here. Okay, so even though let's try it on this side. That's not any better. Maybe if I go like this, you can kind of see where those lines are. Okay, so you have your little 1/2 inch tab right here. You have your inch tab down here, and then right in the center is your 5.5 inch tab, and that just folds in and makes the envelope. It's just really hard to see these score lines, but as I start cutting, you will be able to see how this is going to make into an envelope. Now on this first original one, I just used single-sided paper and had the white on the inside, which is totally fine, but I thought, it might be a cute addition to have double-sided, and then you can see part of the envelope. But especially for this, it's not necessary to use double-sided for this. Anyway, okay, so if you can see, there is a little teeny tiny rectangle right here, and you probably can't see it very well, but once I cut this, I think it'll become a little bit more clear. So we just cut that rectangle out there. Now, what we're gonna do is come over to this side and cut out this long rectangle, okay? Now the little short rectangle is on the one with the little 1/2 inch tab. Just cut that out. Now we're gonna come over and cut out this entire long rectangle. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. And all we're going to do is this is going to flip up, that's going to flip over, and then it closes up just like that. Okay, so makes a cute little envelope. One thing is we're not going to actually use our adhesive right now. We're gonna wait till we actually put it on the hinge to make our actual envelope and seal it. But right now we have it almost all ready, so all we have to do is attach it and then get it all sealed up. Okay, and I'm just using a circle punch and doing a little 1/2 notch, and I think that's so cute to see the paper through. I think I'm gonna make it a tiny bit bigger. Okay, so there it is. Once again, we're not going to seal that up, but let's go ahead and make all of our other envelopes. Just gonna fold and burnish on all of my sides. So if you didn't quite catch it on the first time of assembling the envelope, we've got 3 more. Okay. So let's do it again. With the side with that little 1/2 inch tab, there's a little teeny tiny rectangle down here. And we're gonna cut that out. And then on the opposite side over here, we're going to cut out this long strip. Okay, and that will fold up, that will fold up. Okay, moving on to our third one. And I'm hoping that just by doing this repeatedly, you can kind of see it. There's no way you could see that score line. I can't even see the score line. So, sorry about that, guys. But I think you can, as I cut it, you can see that. Wow, see, even me trying to cut that, it is so dang hard to see all those lines. It's making me kind of dizzy. Okay, maybe I'm gonna try doing it on this side. That's better. Okay, that is better. Okay, last envelope. Look at this spider web paper. It has like, the spider webs are glittered. Oh my goodness, love it. I think anytime you can have a little bit of glitter. Now, granted, once you use glitter, it's usually everywhere for the next week, at least on my projects. Do you know what I mean? Okay, cut out that little rectangle and over. And then come on over to this side. Cut out the long rectangle. Okie doke. Now, one thing I do like to do is I do like to miter my corners just a little bit to help the envelope fold. So just a little tiny miter right there. And I'm going to miter this one. And I just think that helps. So bring in your other envelopes. We should have probably done that while we were doing it. Just take a tiny little triangle or slanted off right there. I've heard some people call it giving your paper a little haircut. And that's kind of exactly what you're doing. So right here, you're just gonna do teeny tiny little haircut and haircut. And then last one, little tiny miter here. And then miter this. While we're doing it, I'm going to do a little miter on my bottom too. Oh yeah, do you see how that just folds up? It takes just a teeny tiny bit of that bulk out. I'm sorry, I'm not doing this. I should probably have mitered all of them at the same time. But if you try to fold yours, it's just folds so much better. So once again, a little teeny tiny triangle out of, so that was 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, boom, and boom. Okay, so now let's bring in our hinge. And I'm just gonna take my bone folder and score that really good. Okay, so we have our little hinge here. Now bring in your first envelope. I just like to go from front to back. Go ahead and fold up that piece on your envelope, okay? Bring your hinge in, and on this very first hinge here, we're just gonna slide that in it. So it's gonna be like this. What's going to happen is this piece is going to fold over, and I like to have it so everything is kind of tucked in. So this will tuck in, and then this will tuck over, and it's sitting right there on that hinge. Does that make sense? So let's just go ahead and get a little bit of glue in here. I'm gonna put glue just right here on the inside of this hinge. Once again, this flap is folded. I'm just going to set that down in there and fold that hinge up. Now this is the only tricky part, is you need to make sure that this is centered so that your envelope folds, okay? So it's folding all the way around. I'm pushing down on the glue. Let's go ahead now and seal up our envelope. I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive here. I'm gonna fold in this side. Just put a little bit of glue right there, and then a little bit of glue on the outside. Now, fold our envelope over, and it should line up just perfectly on that little hinge. So once again, the key to this is as you're doing it, just make sure that it's lining up right here. Okay, I'm going to push that down good. That's going to close up your little envelope. Isn't that just so cute? Now while we're here, I'm going to make my notch. I probably should have done this before I glued it, but no worries. And there is that. Can you see how that kind of looks? Okay, so let's fold that forward and bring in our second one. Once again, fold up that flap. Just going to crease it. Let's go ahead and add glue right onto the back of the second hinge. And I'm just going to slip that right down. I hope you can see this. I'm going to slip that right down in there, okay? And this hinge is going to hold it on. Now, before I close it, I want to make sure that all my pages actually close around that hinge. That will tell me that it's centered. I also like to, before it's dried, close it and just make sure everything's lining up on both sides. And it looks like we are good. Okay, so let's add some more glue onto here. We're gonna fold this in, put some glue on the outside of that little teeny tiny tab, and then fold this in. Oh, I just love this little hinge. It's so cute. Now, once again, make sure as you're doing it that it's lined up on both sides, okay? And notch your envelope if you want. That's totally optional. Oh yeah, that's so cute. So cute. Okay, so we've got the first flip and then the second flip. Now let's go ahead right here. On our third one, we're going to add some glue. Bring in your third envelope. Okay, once again, fold this tab up. and just kind of scooch it down in that third little tab. And as you're doing that, fold the tab over. Make sure that this is all lining up right here on the edge. So I like to fold my album. Yep, that looks good. Okay, let's add some glue. I think repetition helps, so by doing 4 envelopes, if you don't catch it on the first couple, you can probably get it by watching me do the other 2, right? Okay, fold that up. Once again, before it gets too dry, I want to make sure my envelope is lining up. Okay, and I'll notch it. Boom. Okay. Okay, oh my goodness, look how cute that's coming. I really like the double-sided paper. I think that looks really cute. Okay, we are on to our last hinge. Okay, do you see how that's turning out? I hope you can kind of see that. So we are on to our last little hinge. Let's bring in our last envelope, fold up that tab. We're gonna add some glue right to our 4th little tab and just scooch that envelope down in there. And then I'll fold this over. I want to make sure that it's lining up. Fold this up. Yep, it looks good. Get some glue onto the bottom. I couldn't decide on this one. I liked the bugs on the inside, but I also liked the little eyeballs. And I've said this before, but sometimes that's the hardest thing, is trying to decide which side of my paper that I want showing. Okay, I'm going to fold that over. Crease it really good. Just going to make sure that glue has a good hold. Put our notch on. Oh, my notch is actually on this side. Dang it. Let's see if it's too late. You know what? We are going to call it good. That's why I probably should have waited to notch it. But we will call it good and have a double notch there. Dang it. Oh well, you know, with crafting, it doesn't always work out perfect. So good lesson, right? Notch once you get it in. I think that's just better. Now I'm going to go ahead on this very back. We're going to add some glue and fold up our little album. Okay, so see, we're learning as we go. I guess that's a good way to look at it, right? Learn as you go. Okay, what I had used on this cute little album was some of these foam flowers that I got at Hobby Lobby. These are just in the kids' craft selection, but there's flowers and there's, you know, boats and stars. And I think because it's foam and it's already cut out, it adds just a really cute, nice little pop-up. So check that out next time you're looking for something. I'm trying to decide what I want to put on the front of this. I think that looks cute. We'll add our eek down, eek. Oh yeah, that's cute because I don't know if you can tell, but the little spider webs are glittered and then that eek is glittered. That looks really cute. So what are you guys making for Halloween? Are you doing some fun things? I would love to hear what you guys are working on. Okay, oh, that's just cute. Just super fun, simple. On this next one, what should we do? This is the fun part. I just love doing all the fun embellishments. It does take me a while to figure out what I want, but that's okay. That is totally okay. I think we'll do a little kitty cat. And let's see, on this big one, do we want shoes or a witch? A witch, it's a witch. What is that? Oh, that's Monty Python. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh yeah, I think those little shoes are cute. And we'll go back and add some fun flowers. And then on these eyeballs, what do we think? We'll do like a bat. These cute little stickers are by We Are Memory Keepers, or We Are Memories. And I got them a while ago, but I think they're so cute because they're kind of popped up. Okay, let's go through and add just a couple final touches. Ooh, I think a little bit of bright green with this purple. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks cute. I usually either add flowers or bows. Okay, that looks really cute. And then I'm bringing in this huge stack of sequined little embellishments, and I have so many that we are going to add a cute little flower sequin. Oh, that's so cute with the sequins and the glitter paper. I don't know if you can really see that, but oh my goodness, turning out so cute. Let's add, what do we want over here? How about 2 flowers on top of each other? And then maybe 1 little sequin. Oh yeah, what do you think? That's really cute. Okay, going on. I think we'll add a couple of big flowers onto this. Oh my gosh, really liking these foam flowers. I love it when you find something. See, the one thing is these are pretty inexpensive. And so I love it when you can find something that you can craft with, and you don't have to be, I don't know that you would say worried about crafting with it, but able to use it. Does that make sense? I guess I'm kind of frugal, but frugal is okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, let's add a little bit of glue. I had gotten a comment that people had wanted to see me actually do the decorating process. And so that's good information. Thank you, because sometimes I think I tend to like rush through it, kind of to show you the base. And so anyway, thank you for suggesting that, and I will try really hard to make sure that I'm showing you how I actually decorate them, because that's the fun part. Do you know what I mean? That is the fun part. Oh yeah, that's cute. So what are your plans for Halloween? What do you guys do? You know, my kids are all grown, and so I go over to the grandkids and we go trick-or-treating, and you know, I kind of close up my house, but that's okay. It works. It does work. Do you guys go out, or do you just stay home for the trick-or-treaters? If I were to stay home, I would end up eating all the candy. So it's better that I'm not home with a big bowl of chocolate. Okay, oh my goodness. You know, I get so excited when I get done with these projects. It's like, that's cuter than I thought. Kind of surprised myself. Now that's actually funny. Let's bring in all of our little colors. And once again, I think I told you the size on these. They're all just slightly bigger. So this is 4.5 by 3.5. And it fits down in there just perfect to where you can see, you know, a little bit of that color. This is 4.5 by 4.5. This is 4.5 by 5.5. And then this last one is 4.5 by 6.5. Now, I am going to go through and show you if you wanted to make the flaps. I was a little bit frustrated because my Velcro ended up being where that notch was, so that's why we made it without the flaps on this one. But let me just grab a piece of scrap paper and I'll show you how to make it if you would rather have the flaps, because the flaps kind of make it cute like that. So that's with the flaps. And then that is without the flaps. Let's kind of go do a side thing there. So I'm just going to bring in a scrap piece of paper. Okay, so let me just show you if you wanted to make it with the flaps. Let me go ahead and score this, fold it. And once again, I'm going to cut out my little triangle here, just making a quick one if you wanted to have the flaps on your envelope. Just two different ways. I like to show a little bit of variety to give different options. Okay, so rather than having this be your bottom flap like that and it coming over, we are going to use this as our top, okay? I'm going to go ahead and corner round it. Actually, I think I'll just corner round it with my scissors. Okay, so did you see that? So before we had used this to come up and go over. For this one, we're going to have this be the flap, and what we're going to do is as we put our hinge on, we are just going to close that up at the bottom, and then that leaves us with the cute little flap. Okay, I hope I totally have not confused you, but what we would do is we would just add glue on the bottom, put our hinge on, and close it up like this, okay? And then, so instead of having this at the bottom, this would be at the top for kind of the flip down for your envelope. So anyway, please message me if you have any questions. I did just want to show you the couple different ways that you could make this. I hope you have fun crafting. Happy Halloween. And hey, you guys, if you liked the video, give me a big thumbs up. I would also love to have you subscribe to my channel. So until the next video, I'll see you guys. Bye. Have a wonderful day.